Today we have the honor of meeting Utrecht's new mayor since December of 2020, Sharon Dijksma. Thank you so much for doing this interview with us.
Yes, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. When Sharon asked if she would be willing to do an interview in English with us, we were really happy. Thank you so much for doing this interview with us. Using social media effectively can make a great impact, and this interview will likely reach many people who are seeking information about Utrecht. Do you use social media?
Absolutely, yes. I think that social media has a high impact on your followers, and actually on Twitter I have about 34,000 followers, which is for the Netherlands really not so bad. And at the same time I also use Instagram because I like photographs of situations, and it helps me bringing out my work to people in just one vision, you know. So it is really something which is helping me out to be in contact with people not only in Utrecht but also in the whole of the Netherlands, and sometimes even across the world. Yeah.
As you know, we have the Expat Utrecht Facebook group. We're more than 33,000 members, and people would like to get to know you.
Who am I? Well, I have been, as you well mentioned, recently been appointed as a mayor. Before that, I was a member of the Dutch government for 3 times actually. I have been State Secretary for Education. I have been Minister for the Environment and also Minister for Agriculture. And also I have to say I was in between that an alderman in Amsterdam. So I have had a lot of political activities in my life already. And besides that, I'm a mother of 3 children, married. My eldest son is 17 and the youngest child is 1.5.
And as mayor, you're on 24/7?
Yeah.
I think sometimes there are situations where you're on call. And I think it's different in different countries, the responsibilities of a mayor. Can you explain how it's different here in the Netherlands?
Well, I think that in the Netherlands, and especially during the corona pandemic, the responsibilities of the mayor has been growing. So you are the first responsible in your city for the public safety, so to say. And everything which has to do with law and order, it's your responsibility. So, and if there are riots in the street or demonstrations which are organized or events, then you are responsible for the behavior of the police, for the way people are treated, for how you respond from a municipality's kind of view.
And the main task of a Dutch mayor?
I think that the main tasks is I think you should say you could divide it in more like 3 things. Mm-hmm. So your portfolio responsibility on safety, on public safety, so to say. You are the spokesperson, the first person to speak on behalf of the municipality. So when something goes wrong in your city or something beautiful happens, you are the person who is there as a kind of mother of the city. So I do not only have 3 children, but a lot of extra in the city to take care of.
And this is your first time to work as a mayor.
Yes.
How have you been liking it so far?
It's really nice, but it is also a big responsibility because you were mentioning 24/7. And I think that this job, this task, this is really something which asks 24/7 availability, because I always have my telephone near, and in the nights it's on. So if, for instance, a big fire would break out and people are hurt, then I will be phoned, and I will have to go immediately to the place where it happens. To see if everything is going well, but especially also to help and assist the public and to take care of them, to comfort them, so to say. So this is an important task, and it asks a lot of you, but I really like it.
Brings me to my next question. What have been sort of the highlights in your first half year since being inaugurated in December of 2020?
Well, I think that highlights are meeting all those people, even though Corona made it very difficult, because it was not easy to meet like crowds. That was not allowed, of course. But I went on my bike and with one or two people of staff, met some other people, and it was most of the time spontaneous, but very warm. And I think that that is really this city, Utrecht, which is a friendly city. You will all recognize this.
And you've had a warm reception?
I had a warm reception, and that is, I think, the biggest highlight, because this was a welcome that any mayor would leave.
I read your inaugural speech from December 2020, and I have to say, speech, and I loved your statements about strong women in politics, and you said there were 3 challenges facing the city. One was coming out of the Corona crisis together, strong. And the second one was the growth of the city. And the third was tackling safety issues. So organized crime, the safety of the citizens living in Utrecht. Those are very important to you. And I think that really speaks to people, internationals, Dutch people alike. How can we live in a safe city? I guess coming from the highlights, what was nice. Now we're going to the next question. What are the challenges you see for the city?
Well, I think that especially on these 3 subjects, there are all challenges ahead of us. Because the Corona pandemic made life for such a lot of citizens hard. And what you see is that the differences between people, those who have money and those who haven't, those who are healthy and those who aren't, they even grew bigger. So this is for many citizens, I think, an inconvenient truth, and it is a truth which we have to work on. So we need to try to interfere in this system and make people who have a less good position stronger in order to overcome the consequences of this pandemic. And it is not only for citizens the case, but also for entrepreneurs, for instance, or those people who are working on contracts which are not for a long time. And I think that many expats also have faced the consequences of Corona, because you had a job and suddenly you don't. Because your employer thought, hey, it is maybe a bit too expensive to hire all this staff from abroad. So what we have seen is that many people suffer this, and we need to overcome it. If you look at, for instance, the growth of the city, maybe Corona slowed it down a little bit, but eventually we will grow, and we will be hitting the box of 400,000 inhabitants, I think, very soon. So this really means a lot. How can we grow and at the same time stay a nice and warm and recognizable city for those people who already live here? How can we organize all those services that we need for a growing amount of people when you have such less space? And how do we do this in an environmental friendly way, which is also obviously an issue on itself? And thirdly, organized crime. I'm not proud to say that even in that way, we are really a big city. And we face a lot of problems. I think that we have around 50 alliances or organized hubs, so to say, within our city. And within the region, there are many connections to other kinds of criminal activities. And they are undermining our society and our welfare.
The international community of Utrecht is estimated to be 8% of the population. This is a 2-part question. How do you welcome internationals to the city of Utrecht, and how do you see Utrecht on the international scene?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I think that we are an inclusive and vibrant city, so expats and people from abroad living in our society are most welcome. And I think you will feel that whenever you are here. many people will feel the same, and that is something which we really have to cherish, I would say, because this is something which makes us also a bigger city. When you have much more nationalities within the borders, it is all the much more fun, right? And at the same time, I think that internationally we still have a lot of things to do to put ourselves on the world map. But that is something I really aim for, because I think that our city deserves that. I think we have a lot to offer to the world, and especially on, for instance, healthy urban living.
Mm-hmm.
This is a marker of Utrecht, and if you look at the Utrecht institution, which is looking at fighting cancer, for instance, if you look at our healthcare organizations, if you look at the University of Utrecht, which is top class, then this combination of activities and organizations really can make the difference. We can bring some Dutch solutions to world problems, especially on healthcare, and I would like to put the city of Utrecht much more on the map worldwide, to tell everybody, look at what we are doing for beautiful things, and come over and help us out. Yeah, would be great.
Would you like to share anything else? Maybe you have a nice message for internationals that are looking to visit Utrecht or who live here?
Yeah, maybe also in conclusion, I would say that yes, Utrecht is a city really worthwhile visiting, so come over and join us. If you have something to give, for instance your brains, your good work, share it with us. That would be really nice. And I hope a lot of people also will see that this old city, which is actually at the same time almost the youngest city of the Netherlands, because we have so many students, is a very vibrant city. So feel free and be welcome.
Thank you so much for doing this interview with us.
Yeah, you're
Sharon.
welcome.
And we would like to extend an invitation for you when we organize a nice event for the international community here at Utrecht. And hopefully the next time it's going to be big.
Yeah, let's hope. Okay.